welcome to Secret Games number 2, Growing My Grandpa. It's the same developer who made Discover My Body, or maybe as Markiplier would pronounce it, Discover My Body. You know, he'd probably pronounce it like that, knowing him. But, hey, exciting? Please read. This game is designed to be played with a mouse. The input required of you is based around clicking the mouse buttons. The right mouse button will change the cursor's image and function. Only when pointing indicated by the extended index finger can you, the player, interact with certain menu buttons and prompts. Please click below in the pointing mode okay, let's see. So it's a grabby mode. Pointy mode. The second cursor mode is indicated by the cursor's image featuring a hand extended fingers. Yeah. This mode concerns interacting with objects inside the world, mainly picking up an object and moving it into another position. To continue, please pick up the piece of trash on the right and place it in the trash can on the far left. Remember, the right mouse button will change when holding something. The mode cannot be changed until the cursor is not holding something. Yeah, right-clicking. Yeah. Oh, there will be many situations growing my grandpa that will require you to pick things up and place things, grab things, or give things. Don't be afraid to experiment and keep an open mind about using your hand. Please click the button below. Yes. In order to expedite the cleaning process, you can use 3 to reposition the trash can. Try moving the can to the right. Wait, why? Wait. Try moving the trash can on the right. Please continue, and please remember why. Wait, the cleaning process. So what's 1, 2, 3, 4? A variety of video options can be changed at any time through the functions. Wait, 3. Hopefully none of my F keys of those are used in my recording procedures in OBS, but hey, I think it's mostly in the high Fs. Anyways, a variety of video options can be changed. F3 just disable shader. I think it should be fine with whatever has this. Oh, mouse cursor type. Scaled up by factor of 2. It should be fine, I don't know. Hovering the mouse, hovering over the small question mark in the top right provides an overlay related to available configuration options. Try hovering over it. Oh. Press F3 to adjust disable. Cycle through options. And F... I mean, I could try F3, I mean... Yeah, this is fine. We'll see during gameplay. That ends the tutorial. I hope you enjoy entry number 2. And for thanks for the patrons. Hell yeah, I'm a patron too. Well, it resized, hang on. I excused Adrian during music class today and spoke with her about her recent string of demerits. It was our first time meeting outside of our quarterly evaluations, and I believe it went well. I can certainly understand Mrs. Richardson's classroom observations concerning Adrian's emotional state. She was, of course, intensely shy when we first met. As I understand it, she is similarly withdrawn in her classroom activities and only speaks or acts when she absolutely must, some things she simply will not do. Instead of participating in mandatory group activities, she will sit alone and accept that she will receive a demerit. Before the meeting, I read Mrs. Richardson's parent-teacher report, which allowed me to estimate some about Adrian's home life. The parents are well-educated and come from a prestigious background, but they lack time to properly nurture Adrian. She is often alone, and when she is not, the parents seem to not understand the importance of warmth and affirmations when dealing with someone so young. Having 2 parents of this reserved and icy temperament exacts an inhibition. Yeah, that's right. In a child. The child's imagination is subdued, but only ostensibly, for it eventually finds its way into regular life. I surmise that I would be able to reach out to Adrian by way of make-believe. How are you liking your new house? You've told me you used to live close by, but it still can be a big adjustment. A new room, a new school. The basement, I like that. The basement? Yeah, well, there's a lot of cool stuff. Mom and Dad sent me down there. Your mom and dad made you go? Yeah, but there's lots of cool stuff. Well, that's not why they sent me down there, though. Why did they send you down there? Fighting. They were fighting, shouting. I came in to help, and they shouted at me. They said go clean up downstairs, so I went. That sounds tough. Do they fight a lot? No, well, it's alright, Adrian. Maybe you can tell me more about the basement instead. Okay, well, it was weird at first. The stuff down there, cool. Well, down there, but cool. I found something living, sort of? That's very interesting. Please tell me more. By indulging her in her fantasies and stories, I was to glean more of an understanding of Adrian's anxiety surrounding her home and parents. The symbols of Adrian's story seem to carry their own traumatic weight, and her exploration of the basement may very well be a vehicle for the conveyance of her anxiety. Whatever might come of our next meeting, whether she will engage in similar make-believe, I will sit down for her story here. Adrian's story begins with her delving into the basement with a trash receptacle and the goal of cleaning up. She discovered one of the walls was covered in plastic bags. She went to investigate, intent on tearing away whatever they covered. Whoa. Interesting. Oh, it's even click and hold style. Wait, what? I took the down arrow? Oh, yeah, and trash. Okay, I have the trash can on the bottom left. Upon removing the plastic trash bags from the wall, she noticed their interior lining was covered in glass. Like a window, I offered. No, she said, like a mirror, reflecting inward towards the animal they covered. I gently asked her what animal exactly this was. Here is where the material reality of the story took a turn for the explicitly fantastic and imaginary. Upon her discovery of it, at her gaze, it grew or extended its shaggy-haired self, hair like fur, like a dog. I offered. No, she said. Not the fur of a dog, nor the hair on her head. It grew out towards her, the animal's hair reaching out. It was hard, standing almost straight, like the hair on a brush. A bristle offered. Yes, she said. She was very afraid at first, but then very curious. I asked her what else was in the room. More things hidden away, she said. Things of Grandpa's as well. First, she found a hidden passage under the stairs. Inside were strange dolls, magic objects, naked, faceless figures. I heard these cryptic utterances and merely nodded in order to keep the game of make-believe going. I only pressed for details where I thought necessary. The faceless dolls could be a simple metaphor for the anonymity that she feels in her own home. The hidden passage, I am unsure of what to make of that. The revealing of the concealed seems to be a thematic in her fantasy. The door under the stairs, but one example. Oh god, am I going to be touching it? What? So, wait. I can go to it by getting closer and I can't touch it. Strange. Maybe I'll need to clean it with something. The darkness of the shadowy corner unnerves you. You cannot explore here without some form of light. I see. I can't touch the chair. I can't grab this. So, we'll see what's to the right. Wait. I don't know if I can, like, point and click or if there's anything of detail. Or if I'd have to only click on things that, you know, have the... Yeah, like this. Okay. Let's see. Wait, what? But this is shiny. Wait, what? Is it just a lighting pixelation weirdness? I have to put something maybe here later. It seems important, but I don't know why. Wait, I had something in my hand? Oh, okay. Once she removed the panel and found the magical hidden passage, she was very specific about what she took. She found a magic book, a magic doll, a photo of her late grandpa, and magic glue. Oh. Take doll. Ah, there we go, the magic... Oh, that's... Papers crudely bound together to form a book. Eurasian steppe shamanism and the fusiform gyrus, an interdisciplinary study in sympathetic magic. A dissertation, Jacob Hart. Oh god. You guys can read if you want. That would definitely probably make you understand this story better. A photo of your late grandfather. Mr. PhD, on the reverse side of the photograph there is more text. Good luck on your trip to the Urals. Urals? Not sure how you pronounce it, honestly. If I say Urals, it makes me think of urinals. Is it pronounced Urals? I don't know. But anyways, we got that. I'll clean this space will not be dirty again until next week. And the glue. All-purpose glue. Well, it says all-purpose glue. That doesn't sound very magical at all. Take doll? A slouching doll. Its material is rough and coarse. I interrupted to ask what she did with these magical, mysterious materials. She grow grandpa, she explained plainly, and then without missing a beat, she continued on with her story. Feeling this was a potent symbol, I stopped her again to ask what she meant. Somewhat puzzled, I did not understand immediately, she explained slowly. Grandpa lives in the cage in the other room, the cage behind the door. They grew people in the cage. Oh, I see. The door. A hastily written note. I've repeatedly called your homes to no avail, and so I am forced to leave this here for you all. I found William sitting in the corner of the enclosure area, seeming severely concussed. Whiskers was gone, none of its usual hiding places. I immediately suspected the worst. The project thus must be suspended for now. I'm leaving up the usual mirrored coverings we used to keep the anthropoidic void sealed. I've done my best to lock up everything on such short notice. It is a hasty fix, but it will require some time to find a more permanent remedy. I'm honestly hoping you do not find this note, as I intend to lock the house down too. I intend to race off to you to retrieve your lockbox keys. Do not worry about William's key. It and the rest of his equipment is almost certainly deep within the whiskers now. I pray you do not enter this room, no matter how it may appear. William cannot be helped, and is only being kept alive as a means of continuing predation on the rest of us. I will say once again, no matter what state you may encounter William in, he cannot be helped. I have compassion for the young man, but I found on his person several photos of his late sister, which would imply certain risks he knew he was taking. Our extant research materials have now become possible liabilities, either criminal or professional in nature, so I have stashed them away. I believe I let you all know how I might do this if we were ever to experience an event such as this. I hope you all remember what I told you. So long then. Beyond the door in the room, the cage was hidden, concealed in another cloak of inward-facing mirrors. A hidden cage lined with mirrors, it is a strange, almost poetic, the elaborate fantasy of self-reflection, concealment, captivity. at the cage, she finally cast her spell. But it was confusing, she confided at first. She took the magic doll, the magic glue, and the photo of her grandpa. And then she combined them and she wished very hard. I can only assume in this fantasy that next her wish would come true, and what child story would it not? A particular human representation. Oh, I can choose. Well, we're going with the... I guess there would be multiple endings. I'd have to look at the itch.io page, but I'll do that after. We're going to do... So we could do a generic, particular, a doll. Or can I not? Can I, what if I hit just X? What if I just say no? Huh? A tangible symbol of intention and desire. She put Grandpa in the cage, assuming that was part of the ritual. She was not clear on how it worked. What precise instructions she could glean from her grandfather's magic book was complicated by her reading comprehension. She wished with all of her heart, and she told me she waited a while for anything to happen, and after that time, she began to cry. I cried really hard, she said. I wanted Grandpa to be back. I wanted my parents to stop being so mean. And it hurt me. It hurt me wish for Grandpa to come back, for my parents to be different. I could feel it through the walls, and it felt me through the air. I asked her what exactly she meant. She could only repeat what she said. By this time, lunch was almost over. I said goodbye to Adrian, and she left to rejoin her class. I was left to consider our conversation. I believe the storytelling strategy I have employed was not unfruitful, but I must probe deeper if I can. Although I can be sure of nothing, I interpret the impressions I get may begin to help me get an idea of the right questions to ask. Knowledge you acquired this week has given you access to certain topics or key words you can discuss with Grandpa. You have gained the conversation topic, wish. Consider discussing this when Grandpa emerges. You've also gained the following keyword. Shell. I wonder if that was like for cleaning. Interesting. I'm wondering how long this game actually is, to be honest. I'm intrigued. I met again with Adrian in order to address her emotional outbursts in the past few weeks. It is our second time meeting, and while it is standard practice to have multiple sessions with a troubled student, as I assemble a report for the counseling department, I could not help but think, as we sat down in my office, that Adrian already seemed to show a remarkable change in self-esteem and confidence, and perhaps my and Mrs. Richardson's estimation of her as emotionally disturbed was erroneous. The paralyzing shyness and withdrawn attitude Adrian possessed last week was not entirely diminished, but she seemed to hold herself differently this week. However, this only lasted as long as our conversation pertained to initial introductory pleasantries. When I began once again asking about her parents, her feelings regarding her new school and her new home, she quickly lost what new confidence she had gathered up and withdrew again into herself. So once again I partook in some collaborative make-believe, but this time I was aided by the fact that I had managed to do some research into Adrian's grandfather, and I had some insight into what she might actually be finding in the basement. Now this may be overstepping my bounds some as a school counseling caseworker, but this was all in the service of making Adrian comfortable and happy in this learning environment. In any case, I was able to dig up information regarding the grandfather by inquiring at the university in town. Not that I make it a habit of sleuthing, but I had a suspicion the grandfather was a professor there, or at least some sort of researcher, due to the fact that the newly constructed laboratory on the campus I drive by every day bears his name in memorial. He was some sort of anthropologist or linguist or neuroscientist. I did not have to dig that deep before the scope of his work became dizzying, and I ran up against the limits of my undergraduate education. But back to the make-believe. What is your grandpa like? Is he a smart man? Not anymore, but I'm teaching him. So he's grown a good deal then. You have been feeding him well? Yeah, he is getting bigger, but he has a lot of room in his cage. He's still behind the bars? Yeah, well, he might be able to climb out eventually. There's this vent in the ceiling. Oh, I don't like where this is going already. Oh no. They're prepping this shit for like FNAF 3 vent shit. I don't know. Oh no. I already feel the potential coming ahead. I feel the foreshadowing that's possible. Well, perhaps if he climbs out, I could meet... Why would you want to meet Grandpa? He's growing. Who knows what the limits of the growth is? Oh, jeez. Stupid therapist. If the therapist knew, I guess if he was in a Yames game, he would not wish for that, I guess. Perhaps if he climbs out, I could meet him someday. Yeah, maybe, but he's not ready to leave. He can't take care of himself. I have to feed him, pick up after him. Ah, you store the food in your lunchbox. That's nice of you to share. He can almost talk. You cannot speak with him? He doesn't. He doesn't have a mouth, sort of. But how do you feed him? He has a mouth on the outside on his shell, or the stuff that is his skin? I'm a little confused. Maybe you can go through a typical day with your grandpa. Okay. I asked her to explain how exactly she goes about growing her grandpa, and Adrian began another tale. According to Adrian, in the week that had passed, much had changed in the basement. And we get like a representation, like visually speaking, I guess. And this whole thing is like the psychologist's mind, I guess, or the therapist's mind. You should go see Grandpa first. The hairy thing that was here before is gone. The food is there. I don't want to pull out the food. Okay, let's see Grandpa. Wait, Grandpa? It was scary at first, she said. The way he moved, the way the doll's skin covered him. I wanted to interject. This somehow seemed inappropriate, but I kept listening. When I look at him, she continued, when I think about him, he grows and moves. It's like he's growing for me. So he's growing bigger now, I asked. Yes, she said, bigger every day. What? What? This begins the actual growing part of growing your grandpa. Beneath the doll's burlap skin, the follicles knit together what resembles a proper person, your grandpa. You are in charge of its cognitive development and diet until it is able to sustain itself. Currently you are observing Grandpa. Please click the arrow back below for a brief tutorial of your duties as caretaker. Oh boy! Oh, great. Here we can see a variety of options regarding growing your grandpa. Highlighted in red are objectives related to feeding and teaching Grandpa. Important messages regarding Grandpa's recent activity will also appear here. You'll need to find it food and learning material before you can move on to the next week. Some foods will make Grandpa happy, others merely content. Some foods will make Grandpa disgusted to the point of nausea. Learning material is also scattered throughout the basement. Seek out vocabulary cards intended to help teach English and basic anthropoidic concept formation. The options highlighted in red are related to navigating around Grandpa's enclosure. The Go to Grandpa option will let you perform all actions directly relating to Grandpa: feeding, teaching, observing. Accessing the study corner will let you go over any documents you pick up as the weeks go by. It's a good idea to learn about the work of the people who last occupied this space. Accessing the kitchen corner will let you search for the food in the old refrigerator and prepare food for Grandpa if need be. The help button will play this tutorial, and the save game button you will save your progress. You can only have one save file at a time. Yeah. Exiting and relaunching the game will allow you to load your save game. Cool. So I can save the game. I'm going to assume that the game is longer and will take multiple episodes then. More buttons may or may not appear, depending on your development of Grandpa. Oh. One final note, take care to explore the basement at your leisure. However, due to the entropic nature of clutter and trash, different weeks may allow you to find things you had not previously discovered. Okay, so always explore the basement. Gotcha. Save game. Acceptable foods eaten, seek out. So I have to learn about what Grandpa likes, because if I'm going to be playing this properly, I'm going to want to, I guess, then feed Grandpa perfectly in the best way, to the best of my ability. So we'll maybe go to the study corner. See, we have... Aw, man, maybe I'll learn about, like, what food is like. I'd have to breeze through all this. I think I'd save that for, like, the next episode and do it, like, before I start part 2. Oh, wait, let's see, hang on. I could search this. Maybe I get information that'll help with... Okay, cashews. I got some food. I just don't know if he likes them, though. So I'd rather find everything I can find and then know what Grandpa likes, and then... Like, we got money, but we got a note. Hang on. It was sad... An account of an acquisition. You can examine this in detail at the study corner. I'll read now. It was said to pass from one family of steppe people to another, but pressed on its ultimate origin, illegible, somewhere to the south, coiled in a bowl covered in incantations buried upside down by a graveyard, a common late antiquity demon trap. The keeper, an elderly man in failing health, was ready to expound on and on about the dangers of the organism, but when I was asked more pointed questions about the history of its acquisition, I was given curt responses that had a way of circling back to vague warnings. I guess cashews. It looks edible. Grandpa might like this. Okay. Now it's like, I guess, completely clean. I can't take the money, and that very much upsets me. But I'm going to leave the rest for another time. Yes. But I'm really into it. I'm definitely going to play more, but I hope you are looking forward to what's going to happen in this bizarre game by Yames of Grow Your Grandpa? Teach my... It's in the title. I can't remember. I'm also recording my desktop, so if I alt-tab, you're gonna see my desktop. Let's just say it's Grow My Grandpa. I think it's Grow My Grandpa. But either way, I hope you enjoyed and look forward to part 2. And if you did enjoy, please leave a like, comment, hit that subscribe button, become a full subscriber, hit the notification down below for updates about videos. Thank you for watching, and until the next time.